Thank you, Sarah. Yes, thank you for the introduction. Welcome, everyone. Good morning. I hope you're all well, and I hope you've been able to make a cup of tea or coffee for this session. Right, the session that focuses on assertive classroom communication, where you'll find out some hopefully practical techniques for managing unwanted or disruptive behaviour. Right, so just very briefly, to those of you who've not been here before, while we're doing this, we just want to introduce the culture of sharing good practice within our college. And our pledge to you is that we always start and finish these sessions on time. We give you quality and something you can take away from, something that you can use instantly within your lessons. Well, hopefully you won't have to use what I'm going to present to you today, because we do not want to have this disruptive or unwanted behavior in our classes. But life happens, right? So today's, we always try to kind of link our sessions to our TLA framework, which you all are familiar with. And today's session sits within behaviors and attitudes, where there's strict adherence to BDC readiness to learn checklist, and learners attend well and arrive on time, and the environment is calm, tutors set standards and expectations, and that's reflected in learners' good behavior and positive attitudes to learning. Right, and yes, so that the session will focus on that aspect of TLA framework, which will then impact other aspects of TLA framework, essentially. Right, so the aims of today's sessions are to differentiate between passive, aggressive, and assertive communication styles and their impact on learner behavior, and also apply assertive communication frameworks. The three techniques I'll be sharing with you today is I language, then the three-step technique approach to assertiveness, and the broken record technique. This is to establish professional boundaries and redirect learner behavior without escalating conflict, because this is something that we do not want to do in our classroom. Right, so why assertiveness and why does it matter? Well, it focuses on professional presence, our professional presence in the classroom. It establishes a calm, clear and consistent authority of us being in a classroom. Another thing, the conflict de-escalation. So it minimizes power struggles, teacher-student, and reduces emotional heat in the classroom. Protecting the flow, so it maintains boundaries without stopping the lesson, because as we all know, unwanted disruptive behavior can have an impact on how the lesson goes and on other students as well who are there, for example, to learn. And modeling respect teaches learners how to communicate professionally in a workplace or adult environment. So we basically are able to demonstrate what type of behavior is desired. And emotional safety, it creates a predictable environment where all learners feel secure and safe. All right, so we've got three main communication styles that I'm sure we've all kind of displayed at one point or another in our classrooms. So one of the first ones is the passive one, where we're quiet, avoid eye contact, and one of the reasons where we might want to display a passive type of behavior or style, sorry, it's when we are demotivated, where we have, like January, for example, we've talked about the rules, the expectations, the policies, yet students do not display this, so we kind of give up. And I'm sure we've all been there, where we've got enough, we're frustrated, so we kind of let them do what they want in a way. We let them have that coffee in a classroom, or we let them wear that hood in our lesson. The aggressive style would be when we are loud, there's finger pointing, being sarcastic, whether subconsciously or not. And this is when For example, and again, I'm sure we've all been there once or twice where we try to reinforce those rules and expectations. We repeat the message. The message is not heard or is heard, but the students don't do what we are asking them to do. We ask them once, we ask them twice. No, nothing happens, and then we tend to kind of either raise our voice or because we were really frustrated. It kind of destroys the pace of the lesson. It affects other students, and we're really frustrated and upset. So that can actually lead to us being, in a way, louder than usual. And then we've got assertive, where the tone and body language is steady, calm, there's an eye contact, and this is what we want. All right. So the first technique that I'm going to be sharing with you today is the eye language. And so the focus is on the behavior and not the person. And by doing this, when we focus on the behavior and not the student, so the behavior and not, for example, you are this or you behave that way. So in that way, we reduce defensiveness. And the structure of this technique is that you start with stating the emotion or concern, I feel, when we describe the particular situation or behavior, and because we explain the impact on the lesson, on the learning, on other students, and what I need is. So we give the student a clear instruction as to what we expect them to do. And example would be one of many. I feel concerned when you haven't started the task because it stops you from making progress. And then the key element here is what I need is for you to begin the first question now. I'm sure we've all had students who refuse to do the task, or they say, I don't know how to do it, that's too difficult. Straight away they say they're not going to do it, or that's pointless, whatever the reason, right? So we repeat this, and then when we state what we need to happen, what I need to happen is for you to begin the first question now. We can even kind of, we know, you know your students best. So if you think that the student needs a bit of prompt or support, you can say, what I need is for you to begin the first question now. I can help you, or you can do it on your own. Yes, so we're giving them a choice, and we can help kind of so that they can get started. Right, the second technique, I actually quite like the broken record technique. Back in the old times when we used to listen to music on record, yes, and whenever there was a scratch on the record, the same kind of message was, if we were listening to a song, would be repeated in exactly the same manner. So the goal of this technique is to maintain a boundary when a learner tries to argue and deflect or hook you into a debate. So very often I've seen that in many classrooms where we want a student to do something, they kind of answer you back, and then we answer them back, and it's back and forth. So by applying the broken record technique, this kind of, prevents students from going into a debate with you. Now, the strategy is we acknowledge, so briefly show you've heard them. I hear you, I get it, I understand. Then repeat the same exact calm instruction. The key word here is calm. No matter how many times you repeat it, you do it without changing the tone of your voice. So then we've got the resist. Do not get drawn into the why or the argument. Why are we changing the seating plan today? Why am I asked to do this or that? Yes, so by repeating the same instructions or comment, we are actually avoiding this or preventing this kind of argument or debate, back and forth debate. Now, the technique in action, for example, the student is saying, I'm not doing this, it's boring. I'm sure we've all kind of had this in our careers. And then you say, I hear you. What needs to happen now is that you start the task. Then the student said, but I don't want to. And then you kind of repeat the same message. I hear you, or I understand. What needs to happen now is that you start the task. And then again, the student is trying to see how far they can go. Why are we even doing this? And then you can say, we can discuss that later. What needs to happen now is that you start the task, right? So the student can get really defensive, and when the student shows that defensiveness, you may get frustrated because you really want the student to start the task and you don't want to waste the part of your session on making the student do what you want them to do. So, you can repeat the same message, yeah, without going into much detail, yes, because when we do, then we're actually encouraging further discussion or debate or argument, and this is what we don't want. So the key thing here is that we repeat the same information in the same calm manner. Now, technique number 3, a 3-step assertive approach. The goal is that it validates the learner's emotion while maintaining the professional boundary. Step 1, we validate with the word however. So show that you've heard them. I hear what you're saying, however, or I can see this is frustrating, however, and then you state the professional need, explain the why or the expectation, and we can refer to the college policy, or we can refer to the college rules or readiness to learn checklists. I need you to stay focused. We still need to meet the lesson outcome. And direct the action using the so statement. So say what your expectations are. So please take your hood down now. So I need you to return to your seat. Okay. Now, the practical classroom scenarios would be, you've got one. Why do I have to take my hood off? It's cold, right? And you can sometimes mix the different techniques or see which one works for you. So here I've got a 3-step approach. When you listen and show understanding, I get that you're feeling cold. I'm acknowledging your kind of feeling, yes? Say what you think. However, wearing hoods makes communication harder, and it's part of our college expectations. And then it's important to say what you want. Please remove your hood now so we can get started. And if they argue here, we use the broken record. I understand. What needs to happen now is that you take the hood down. Or, okay, they kind of go into an argument. You can talk to them in private, fair enough, but we still need them to actually do what the expectations and the policies are. If they say, for example, I can't take the hood off because, and they give you personal reasons, I don't know, we've got eTracker. You can say to a student, I'm going to log this onto eTracker. I need you to remove the hood. Now we can talk about this later. If they refuse, for example, right? Another one, student refusing to start work. I don't want to do this. It's boring. It's pointless. And then I language plus broken record, right? So we are combining the two techniques. So we can say, I feel concerned when you don't start the task because it stops you from progressing. What I need is for you to complete the question 1. I can help you if you want. And then again, if they come up with some objections, you can say, I hear you, and you repeat the same message using the broken record technique. But the key element here is that we do not change the tone of our voice. Right now, because I'm mindful of the time, so I'm going to skip scenario 3, but I'm going to share this presentation with you. The final thoughts is that by being assertive in a classroom, it means that we keep tone calm, neutral, and steady throughout. No matter how frustrated with the student's behavior we ourselves are, we might need to take a few seconds to regulate ourselves, to kind of, take a breath, because we are only human beings, and we are tired, overworked, and so on. Yeah, we stand still, maintain open posture. Again, the body language matters here. And we use proximity, move closer, but never into personal space. And then we give short choices. You can start the work, or we can talk outside for a minute. or I can help you with the first question. And then you can follow up privately when possible. That's all in a nutshell. You know, it's being assertive can really change change the way we actually behave ourselves in our classroom. It's just, you know, it helps other students as well, and we're showing consistently and persistently what our expectations are, and we need to do it across the college and in all our lessons, despite the time of the year as well. Right. Thank you very much. I'm mindful of the time. It's been 15 minutes. I hope you won't have to use these techniques, because I wish you all great students with great behavior, but life happens, as I said. So in case you do need to use them, please feel free. And then you can even practice talking to yourself as if you were talking to a student. So yes, any questions, please feel free to reach out to the team in 222. We're always happy to help. Sarah, yeah?
Excellent. Thanks, Sylwia. Some fantastic strategies there. And just to kind of you just said it, but I think it's across college as well. It's not just in the classroom. It is absolutely, we should be sending out these messages and being assertive with learners when we're not seeing the desired behaviours across college. Errol Seaman has commented, a teacher's ability to maximise their assertiveness is supported by a clear, early and consistent communication and execution of the ground rules of conduct. I couldn't agree more. Guys, it's a little past time now, so I'm going to wrap up, but I just want to say, please do, if you have any suggestions for a bite size that you would like us to deliver, or you'd like to deliver alongside us, please do reach out. Have a great day. We'll see you all later. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.